Hey guys, Sean with BDS. Do you ever want to take the first gen Liberty, and a diesel one at that, and make it the most badass, capable off-road vehicle ever? Neither did we. So here is Project KJ. So we all love the JKs, the TJs, and even the beloved XJs. But we wanted to do something totally different that would stand out in the crowd. So we looked to the Liberty with its goofy bug-eyed styling front grille, its IFS suspension. It's just a horrible decision. So we rolled with it. So we started with an 05 Liberty. The only thing we kept stock in this vehicle is the 2.8 CRD diesel, or the common rail diesel, 45 RFE 4-speed transmission, and the unibody. Everything else, gotta go. And here's what we did. So you think that factory IFS was gonna handle the ultimate adventure for 2 years? No. So we ripped that all out. We put in JK Rubicon 44s, trussed and sleeved with 513 nitro gears and 30 spline axles. So up top we have our hand fabricated front bumper holding our competition spec Warn winch, our Factor 55 flat link, rigid lights, and as you see in here, our PSC reservoir for the hydraulic steering. And that's because we need to turn these massive 40, 13, 50, 17 Nitto Trail Grapplers. So as far as the suspension goes, we have 14-inch 2.5 remote resi coilovers, Fox hydraulic bumps, and limiting straps. Attached to the axle is a custom-made long arm suspension system. Now under here, as you can see, everything is fully protected. From skid plates from the front, the brackets are nicely tucked up next to the frame, and under this skid plate is the 241T case we also got out of a JK Rubicon. So around back, you may notice this is a little different than a standard Liberty. We busted out the saws, did some cutting, made room for the nice big spare tire, turned this into a tailgate, put the license plate up here away from damage because it does need to be roadworthy. Hand fabricated rear bumper, rigid lights, and underneath we have the Dana 44 rear axle out of the Rubicon that we stole the front axle and the T-case out of. Heavily trussed it, upper triangulated control arms, again 14-inch coilover, 2.5 remote resis, hydraulic bumps, keeps everything nice in line, nice and soft for the heavy-duty trails. Now, in order to make room for that upper suspension, we had to move the fuel system to the back of the vehicle. So under the spare tire, we have an aluminum fuel cell, still utilizes the factory spout. Now moving on to the interior. Now you may notice the extensive tube work inside this vehicle. That was a must to make sure that this vehicle was still safe, solid enough to handle what we were about to throw at it, and just all around looks cool. As far as the interior goes, pretty much stock. Even the heated seats still work and the leather seats. We got the CB radio so we can stay in constant communication. We have the Edge CTS monitor to monitor what's going on under the hood with that diesel engine, even down to the factory 4-wheel drive shifter. Now moving on to the back, we decided to keep the rear factory seats. So if anybody wanted to go for a ride or we just simply wanted to go have a good time somewhere, everything is still functioning. Now, for all you dads that are trying to talk the missus into building one of these awesome vehicles, I know for a fact that the rear car seat holders still work. Now underneath the rear seats, we put our battery kill switch because that is a must on the trail in case of any emergency. We have our onboard air dual Optima batteries for all the electrical needs that we possibly could have, and our air compressors for the front and rear lockers. And not to mention, we made sunroofs cool. Now, as you can tell from the condition of this vehicle, probably had a little bit too much fun in it. But this has been from the West Coast to the East Coast, multiple shows, Easter Jeep Safari for multiple years, Ultimate Adventure twice, Suicide Hill on its first attempt. That's pretty badass. If you want to see any of the footage of this vehicle, make sure you check out our blog, bds-suspension.com.